Welcome everybody to Monday Night Raw as we prepare for the Backlash as we prepare to see what happens next as we come from Chattanooga, Tennessee. As we start off Raw with Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander already in the ring. And why is Roderick Strong got Pete Dunne? Pete Dunne, #1 contender for the world's title. This was meant to be Adam Cole and Roderick Strong versus Cedric and Rey Mysterio. I do not know why Roderick attacked Pete Dunne as they're going at it early, and it looks like we're getting one-on-one action between... No, what? What is going on here? Like now Ray shows up, O'Reilly and Fish getting involved. I have no idea what is happening. The referee's had enough, he's out of here. As Strong just continues to beat down Rey Mysterio. Of course, last night at Backlash was a bad night for the Undisputed Era. Cedric Alexander retained the Cruiserweight title over Roderick Strong. Adam Cole was not victorious in the six-man main event for the tag team for the world title. And of course, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish no longer your Raw tag team champions as we get off to a chaotic start on Raw. This is a tag team match between the Undisputed Era's Cole and Strong versus Alexander and Mysterio for what happened last week on Raw. Raw just kicking off all over the place, attacks by the Undisputed Era, and like Cedric's leaving. I have no idea what has happened. What a chaotic way to kick off Raw, but let's just continue on. And after that chaotic start, that I have no idea what was happening, we continue on with Raw with the phenomenal AJ Styles. As AJ looks for redemption for what happened at Backlash. See face off against the man who eliminated him very, very quickly in an upset. Mike Kanellis eliminated Styles in like less than 10 seconds. And as you can see, we do have new graphics here on Raw. Because, yeah, just when I was using just the default Raw ones, but then I seen them when I was getting stuff set up for Backlash, and I thought with the arena and the logo we're using, they fit what I want more. They like darker, they fit like the darker arena of this Raw with the like stage and the mat and the logo that we have. So that's why we're switching it up, because I feel like they fit what I want for Raw more than the default Raw ones. But AJ Styles, anyway, looks for redemption, looks for revenge on the Miracle Mike Kanellis after that shocking elimination last night. The bell just rang. Kanellis just clotheslined Styles over the top rope straight away in the Intercontinental title Battle Royale. And AJ wants a bit of redemption on Mike. Of course, she wasn't allowed by his side last night. Maria Kanellis accompanying Mike tonight. And Mike had a great showing, a fantastic showing in the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royale. Not only eliminating AJ Styles early on, Mike Kanellis actually lasting to the final two. It came down to Mike and your eventual winner, Jeff Hardy, before Jeff Hardy Hurricane Run had Mike Kanellis over the top rope to leave with the Intercontinental title. But Mike Kanellis, after that great showing, looks to continue on that momentum as he faces off against the phenomenal AJ Styles here tonight. But of course, as I've mentioned, AJ has redemption on his mind, so this should be a fantastic match. As Mike looks for another upset. The Miracle Mike Kanellis versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Technically it's your first match of the evening, because I have no idea what happened in the opener with the Undisputed Era the Undisputed Era Mysterio and Alexander, but we are underway in this one. Collar and elbow tie up. AJ forcing Kanellis back into the corner. And the referee is looking for a break. Will it be a clean break? Yes, it is. Both men breaking clean. And now both men locking up once again. AJ into the side headlock. Takedown on Kanellis. And now the big punch by AJ Styles. Now forearm by Mike Kanellis. Now drops AJ with the punch. And now working over AJ Styles is Mike Kanellis. Of course, things haven't gone AJ Styles' way so far on Raw. He was defeated by Drew McIntyre in the Backlash qualifiers, which sent AJ into the Intercontinental title match when he instead of the World Heavyweight title match. Then of course eliminated in under 10 seconds. Gotta be a record nearly for Battle Royals. By Mike Kanellis. So AJ looking to rebound again tonight as he works over the arm of Kanellis. Picking up Mike now is Styles. And a big forearm by AJ again with the forearm. And now suplex into the neckbreaker. AJ in control of Mike Kanellis. And a big enziguri by the phenomenal AJ Styles. And a big boot by Kanellis. And a big forearm. And a dropkick by Kanellis sends AJ down. Kanellis starting to gain control in this one. Styles fights out, takedown by Kanellis. Boot to the midsection by Styles. Oh, brainbuster by AJ Styles. Kanellis in trouble. AJ is feeling it. What has AJ got planned here? Oh, just dropping Kanellis onto the top rope. Kanellis now out on the floor. AJ coming out after him. Now sending Mike back into the ring is Styles. Styles follows him back in, but Kanellis able to cut him off. Snapmare by Kanellis. Now just working over that arms and the back of AJ, just wearing down the phenomenal one. Is Mike Kanellis trying to slow this one down? Will AJ be forced to tap out here? But you know, he's able to fight up to his feet. The elbow to the midsection, breaking the hold. And now he has Kanellis for another brain buster by AJ Styles. And now he has him in the middle of the ring, rolling through. Calf crusher by AJ Styles. Will Kanellis tap out to the calf crusher? AJ has it really locked in, but decides to let go. Kanellis wasn't tapping. Instead, AJ opting for something different, setting him up for the phenomenal forearm, and he connects. Not going for a cover. Instead, he wants to go to work, but Kanellis reverses. AJ had him beat there possibly with the phenomenal form, but AJ wanted to get a bit more payback, get a bit more revenge for the embarrassment he believes happened at Backlash. Now Kanellis outside the ring trying to lure Styles in, but Styles able to answer with those vicious chops, the kicks, and then the clothesline. And a big enziguri by Styles and Kanellis on the outside, and you see Maria picking Mike up. And what has happened here? The referee rings the bell, and AJ Styles is your winner. Maria Kanellis getting Mike disqualified, and AJ picks up the win. What a chaotic start here on Raw. And after a chaotic start here on Raw, we again are continuing on with the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, who was attacked by Roderick Strong earlier for some reason. I do not know why. But Pete Dunne is scheduled for action here tonight against Kevin Owens. And you gotta wonder what condition the Bruiserweight will be in after getting attacked by the Undisputed Era. And of course, Pete Dunne is your current #1 contender for Cesaro's World Heavyweight title. Maybe that's why the Undisputed Era attacked him. Maybe Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era believes he should be #1 contender. But Pete Dunne did beat Shelton Benjamin at Backlash. He is the #1 contender, and he will receive a title shot down the line. As we take a look at the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. He's got a tough task ahead of him. Of course, Cesaro in his, he has Cesaro on his mind because he'll have him down the line, but he needs to put him out of his mind because he is the prize fighter, Kevin Owens.
And his opponent from Marieville, Quebec, Canada, weighing in.
And Kevin Owens, of course, would love to pick up a win over the #1 contender. Another man involved in the 6-pack challenge main event at Backlash last night, so he'd love to put his name back in contention, and he can do that with a win over the #1 contender here on Raw. Of course, Kevin Owens has had some issues with his former friend, his current friend. Their friendship is so on off, I don't know what they are anymore. But he has had some confrontations with Sami Zayn in the past. But tonight he has Pete Dunne 1-on-1. Kevin Owens, Pete Dunne. This is a match that a lot of fans will be looking forward to. And we are underway here on Raw, as both men go for the lockup, and Pete Dunne with that butterfly suplex early on. And a big suplex by Pete Dunne. Now kick to the back of Owens. And once again, the butterfly by Pete. And again, kicked in midsection and a power bomb. Kevin Owens hasn't been able to get out of the gates because Pete Dunne is fired up. He's angry after the assault by the Undisputed Era earlier tonight, as he works over Kevin Owens, and a forearm by Pete Dunne. And the Bruiserweight is pissed off, and Kevin Owens is feeling the consequences. As Pete Dunne using the rope to his advantage. Now, just working over the legs is Pete Dunne. And Dunne goes to the top. Looks for a moonsault, but Kevin Owens able to get the knees up, able to block the moonsault attempt by Pete Dunne. Now Kevin Owens looking for a crossface on Dunne. Dunne trying to crawl his way to the ropes. Not able to get there, but able to roll over and get Kevin Owens off of him. But Owens able to get him up. Michinoku driver. And Owens back in control. Kick to the midsection. Shot across the back. Kevin Owens is feeling this. And now sends Dunne to the outside. Owens off the ropes, and Tope over the top ropes. Kevin Owens coming crashing down onto Pete Dunne. And now punching each other on the outside. Dunne with the chop. Owens goes behind, and now a vicious German suplex on the floor. Referee up to a count of 4. Boatman need to get in, but code red by Kevin Owens on the outside. Up to a 6 is the referee. And Owens getting in now. And he breaks the count at 8. Because he's seeing Pete Dunne getting back to his feet. Owens misses with the super kick. Now Pete Dunne in control with the slam on the floor. And now both men going at it on the floor still. Dunne catches the leg. And then to a leg trap German suplex by Pete Dunne on the floor to Kevin Owens. And a slap by Dunne, forearm, and then goes in at the count of 8. And Owens looks to follow him. And it's Owens who gains control first with the German. And KO is feeling this. Of course, I did mention that this will be a big win for Owens, because it'll put him back in title contention with a win over the #1 contender as he goes for the cover off that Vader bomb. Only a 2 count. Pete Dunne able to kick out. And now working over the head of Pete Dunne is Kevin Owens. Picking it up, Dunne. And just dropping him across the knee. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Pete Dunne able to survive. Able to kick out at 2. Dunne though. Float over DDT plants Kevin Owens, and Owens wisely rolling out of the ring. And that space allowed Owens to come back in and gain control with the snapmare. And a big punch to the head. Goes for the kick to the midsection. Gets caught once again. The leg trapped German suplex by Pete Dunne. And now going to work on the arm. Just dragging Owens' face in the mat. Dunne sits Owens up. And now picks him up fully. Does the bruiser weight with a big suplex. As what Owens in trouble as Dunne sets him up, looking to put him away with the bitter end. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. And Kevin Owens somehow kicks out. Pete Dunne cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. And if Pete Dunne wasn't in a bad mood after the attack by the Undisputed Era, that's just put him in an even worse mood. And as he goes to work on the arms of Kevin Owens, Dunne picking him up and drives him back down with the suplex. That snap suplex by Dunne. You see Dunne looking at Owens, wondering what has he got to do. And now goes to work. That Kimura locked in by Dunne. Will Kevin Owens tap? No, Owens able to get the leg off him and escape. Rolls out. But Dunne catches him for the DDT. But Owens with the punches, the blows to the midsection, and floats over Code Red. Owens has Dunne in trouble. Just dropping him onto the knee. as he picks him up. And again, just the gut buster by Kevin Owens into the big boy senton. Pete Dunne is in trouble. Kevin Owens needs to keep the momentum up and put him away though, as he just stomps on the midsection. Cover, 1, 2. Dunne kicks out at 2. Irish whip into the corner now by Owens. And Dunne shoots for the leg, gets kicked off by Kevin Owens though, as Owens sends him into the corner. And a boot. And Owens has him set up for the cannonball senton. Pete Dunne in trouble. Owens wisely dragging him away from the ropes. Opts for the cover. 1, 2. And Dunne just barely getting the shoulder up at the count of 2. Barely surviving is the bruiserweight. And Kevin Owens kicks to the midsection, sends him off the rope. Pop up powerbomb. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. And Pete Dunne kicks out at 2 once again. And now it's Kevin Owens who can't believe it. The pop-up powerbomb, and you see now just stomping away at the midsection. They're giving Pete Dunne a piece of his mind, telling him to stay down, as he rips him in with that lariat. Now going to the hammerlock. Hammerlock leg sweep by Kevin Owens. Now the crossface locked in. And once again Pete Dunne able to roll out of it. And we're seeing why Pete Dunne is the number 1 contender. The resiliency of Dunne to just keep fighting back. And we're also seeing why Kevin Owens is a top contender here on Raw. He's also showed his resilient side coming back from Pete Dunne. That's Pete Dunne now in control. Boot to the midsection. Picking him up. X-Plex. The X-Plex could be it. It could be the move Pete Dunne was looking for. Brings him towards the centre ring. 1, 2, 3. And your winner, the number 1 contender for Cesaro's World Heavyweight title, Pete Dunne. And you gotta believe Cesaro was paying close attention and scouting Pete Dunne here tonight, as we take a look back at some of the highlights of this great contest here on Raw. Here Kevin Owens came so close to putting away Pete Dunne with the pop-up powerbomb, and as you can see, just slipping the shoulder out was Pete Dunne. And here is what put Kevin Owens away, the X-Plex. And here is your winner, Pete Dunne, sending a message to Cesaro and maybe the Undisputed Era after the attack earlier tonight. The Bruiserweight not short of rivals here on Raw. And we continue Raw on with 2 of the top women in the women's division coming out of Backlash. Mickie James, unsuccessful. Well, she wasn't successful in winning the women's title, but the match did end in a double countout. So Mickie James believes she is still owed a title shot in the future. And after the match Mickie James and Bayley put on last night, I would love for them to run it back and we have a decisive winner. And you gotta believe Bayley will be willing to give Mickie James a title, because Bayley is a fighting champion. And Mickie James looking to pick up some momentum here tonight on Raw to further her case that she deserves a rematch, a fair shot at Bayley's championship. But first she has to face this woman, the boss, Sasha Banks, because it's boss time here on Raw. Of course, Sasha Banks victorious over Becky Lynch at Backlash. And the boss will be looking maybe at a future title shot against her close friend Bayley. Because we all know friendships in wrestling, they go to the side when championships are involved. And the boss looking to prove it by getting a win over Mickie James, the former #1 contender, who I do believe is owed another title shot after the double count out at Backlash. So maybe Mickie James is still the #1 contender, but Sasha Banks might have a problem with that, considering she was victorious over Becky Lynch. So you gotta say whoever wins here tonight could be next in line for Bayley, but both women do have a case to make, as Sasha Banks is in control with the leg sweep, Russian leg sweep on Mickie James early on. As Sasha goes for the suplex onto Mickie James. Now stomping away is Sasha Banks, and driving Mickie James headfirst into the mat is the boss. And now that neck breaker by the boss on Mickie James. And a drop kick to the back, and James nips up and drops Sasha with that clothesline. And now it's James going to work on the boss. Pulls her to the center of the ring. And a drop kick to the back. And a big spin kick by Mickie James. And oh, big Destino-like maneuver by Sasha Banks. Sasha picks up. Mickie misses with the kick. And Mickie connects with a kick to the midsection of the boss. And now the drop kick to the back of the head of the boss by Mickie James. And James with the Hurricane Rana. And now Irish whip into the corner by Mickie James. Sasha Banks in trouble. As spoke too soon, as Sasha able to reverse Mickie James, and now it's Mickie James the one in trouble. As Sasha places her up on the top rope, what has Banks got planned for Mickie James? Oh, reverse suplex off the top rope, sends Mickie James crashing down. And now that guillotine locked in by Sasha Banks, looking to make Mickie James tap out here. James able to float over out of it and back to her feet, but gets caught with the dropkick by the boss, who makes her way up to the top rope. Sasha Banks up on the top rope. Mickie James in trouble here. Frog splash by Sasha Banks. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 1 count only. Mickie James able to kick out before 2. And now the big bulldog by Sasha Banks has Mickie James in trouble. Mickie needs a counter here. She needs to find a way to turn the tide. Sasha looks to make her tap with the guillotine once again. And Mickie James once again able to remove the leg so she can float over and out back to her feet. But Sasha again, the one in control with that headlock takedown. And then just using the hair of Mickie James to send her crashing into the mat. As she hits the big neck breaker, does Sasha Banks. Mickie James nipping up and just sending Sasha into the corner with the forearm, but Sasha able to reverse the forearms of her own. Just Mickie James dropping to the mat. What has Sasha got planned here? The forearm. And now James fights back. Neck breaker by Mickie James. Sasha Banks in trouble now as she rolls to the outside, smartly not allowing Mickie James to go for the cover. But Mickie James drops her with that back elbow on the floor. Now both women on the outside going at it. Referee up to a count of 3. They have to the count of 10 to make it back in, as Sasha Banks counters that spin kick. But Mickie James able to throw Sasha back into the ring as she drops her across the knee. And another Hurricane Run by Mickie James. As Sasha gets sent headfirst into the turnbuckle, Mickie James goes to work with the kicks and just big spinning kick sends Sasha to the ground. As Sasha able to kick out at 2. Mickie James so close to putting away the boss here on Raw as she sets her up. For the big DDT, just planting Sasha Banks wisely, going for the cover straight away. 1, 2. And Sasha able to get the shoulder up at 2. Mickie James cannot believe it. The DDT almost putting away Sasha Banks. Now Sasha, big Inseguri, Shining Wizard by Sasha Banks. And now on the outside, Hurricane Rana by Banks. Referee up to a count of 2. Sasha picks up James now and sends her into the ring steps. And then once again just sending Mickie James across the ringside area. Sasha getting in to break the count, or is she going to opt for the count out victory? Of course, breaking the count. Now it's Mickie James in control off that forearm. Picking Sasha Banks up. Spinning kick to the midsection. And a kick to the midsection once again, and then drops her. And then just stomping on the face of Sasha Banks is Mickie James. At a count of 7, Sasha able to just send Mickie James back toward the ring. Sasha picking her up, allowing her to get back in the ring, calling her back in, so Sasha can hit her with that big Saito suplex. And a kick to the midsection, and bankrupt by Sasha Banks. Drags Mickie James into the center of the ring, goes for the cover. 1, 2. Mickie James able to kick out at 2. As Mickie connects with the knee. And going to work on the legs of Sasha Banks now is Mickie James. Misses with the drop kick. Now big forearm by Mickie James. A big snap suplex sending Sasha Banks crashing down to the mat. As now Sasha able to push away Mickie James. And goes for the neck breaker. Once again Mickie having to use her experience rolling out of the ring. But Sasha out following her. And goes to work with another neck breaker, this time out on the floor. Before sending Mickie James back in. And Mickie is in trouble. Because Sasha Banks has it locked in. The bank statement. Will Mickie James tap out? Yes, she does. Sasha Banks is your winner with the bank statement. After a fantastic match here on Raw against Mickie James. You gotta believe this only strengthens Sasha's case for a future title shot. As we take a look at the winner, Sasha Banks. as Mickey James doesn't look happy after defeat here on Raw to Sasha Banks. And it is main event time here on Raw. And we see Randy Orton for the first time here on Raw in this universe mode. As the Viper looks ready. And you gotta feel like Randy Orton isn't happy with being left out of Backlash, out of the title matches. He wasn't even given a chance, but he has a chance to make up and put himself in title contention tonight as he takes on Intercontinental Champion Jeff Hardy in non-title action. So a win here against Jeff Hardy could put Randy Orton down as the next challenger for Hardy's Intercontinental Championship, as the Apex Predator makes his way to the ring, listening to the voices inside of his head. As Randy now steps inside of the ring, taking his time. As Randy steps up onto the turnbuckle for the vintage Randy Orton pose. And you gotta believe the Apex Predator is ready to take on the Charismatic Enigma, because he knows what a win over the Intercontinental Champion will do. And here comes the champion. As we see Jeff Hardy with the Intercontinental Championship around his waist. Of course, he's used to having that title around his waist. He's held that version of the Intercontinental Championship numerous times before. Of course, Randy Orton, a former Intercontinental Champion. Maybe he's his eyes set on regaining the Intercontinental Championship while killing the legend of Jeff Hardy. As Jeff Hardy now making his way into the ring. Of course, we mentioned earlier, winning a Battle Royale last night at Backlash to be crowned Intercontinental Champion, last eliminating Mike Kanellis with that Hurricane Rana over the top rope. And I gotta say, that Intercontinental title looks at home around the waist of Jeff Hardy. But he has a tough task in front of him now here tonight in Randy Orton. Of course, this is non-title action, but a win for Randy Orton will of course put him in contention maybe at our next Raw pay-per-view, which I'm not sure when it will be, but of course in 3 weeks we'll have our first SmackDown pay-per-view, which will be Judgment Day. But of course we'll more details on that on SmackDown, because it is a SmackDown exclusive, just like how Backlash was a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. As Randy has Jeff Hardy now set up for a big suplex and out crashing down to the mat. Working over the head with that headlock. Just torquing it is Orton. A big neck breaker by Randy Orton. But Jeff catches him with the jawbreaker and then the crossbody. And just kicking Randy Orton is Jeff Hardy. And that drop, or just dropping him across the knee. As Jeff Hardy trying to get the WWE Universe behind him. Now sets him up on the top rope. Randy able to kick off. And a big suplex. And Jeff Hardy wisely out of the ring. Of course, Jeff Hardy was involved in the qualifying matches at Backlash, which Randy Orton was not. Jeff Hardy missed out on the World Heavyweight title match because he was counted out in his match against Cesaro, as Randy Orton goes for the Billy Goat's curse on Jeff Hardy. And of course, he did pick up the win against Cesaro last week. And then of course both Jeff Hardy and Cesaro went on to leave Backlash with gold, as Jeff Hardy now working over Randy Orton, working over the arm of Orton, and a big elbow to the back. And a big forearm by Jeff, but Orton snapmare kick across the back, as Jeff just picks up Randy and sends him face first into the mat. And a big DDT by Jeff Hardy. And Orton with the clap and a drop kick by Orton. Vintage Randy Orton, as he goes to work with the elbow. And now Jeff with the forearm has Randy dragging him towards the corner and sends him headfirst into the corner, but Randy catches the boot. And now Vintage Orton, rope hang, DDT looking for it, and it connects. Randy Orton with that vintage DDT has Jeff Hardy where he wants him. And now setting up the Intercontinental Champion for the RKO. Will Randy Orton be able to connect? And he does. The RKO, and he slithers into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Randy Orton picks up the victory over the Intercontinental Champion Jeff Hardy here tonight. You gotta believe Randy Orton will receive a future Intercontinental Championship match. He has to, after picking up the win over the Intercontinental Champion, as we take a look back at the deciding fall. Randy Orton sending a message to Jeff Hardy, maybe sending a message to Cesaro, but with the win over Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton has to be in contention for the Intercontinental Championship. And that is all we have got time for here on Raw. Don't forget, tune in to SmackDown Friday and more Raw action next Monday, as we leave you with the Viper, Randy Orton, victorious.